Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to go through a few tips that I have on how you can stay a little bit more consistent with your content planning. Now, this is really going to pertain to a lot of small businesses and freelancers and digital creators who are really looking at getting into more social media creation and are struggling with the consistency that comes along with that. It is something that is kind of required by a lot of these social media sites such as Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and it's really important to keep up and be consistent. However, unfortunately, it's not always as easy as it sounds, and that's why I want to shed a little bit more light on this today and tell you guys a few tips on how I've managed to get a little bit more consistent with my content planning and content creation, and hopefully this video is going to help you out with that. So without further rambling, let's get straight into the video and go through a few tips for more consistency when content planning. So the first tip's going to sound like a little bit more of an obvious tip, but I do want to mention here that it's really important to have a monthly content planner, and I'm talking dedicated to your social media, to your content creation. This is just for that. So having a monthly content planner is really going to help you see your month ahead. And I think it's a really good way to get ahead of all of the things that you'll be having in the next few weeks and knowing what you have to produce week to week. I've shown this planner before on my YouTube channel, and it's just a very simple monthly planner where I can fill in the dates, fill in everything that I'm going to be doing over the month, and it really helps me see my month ahead. So as you see, I like to color code mine as well. So I've got things on there for Instagram Reels and Instagram posts. I've also got things on there for YouTube and any other social media accounts that I have that I'm creating content for. And it really helps me to just kind of get ahead of the game on that and know what I'm producing. Having certain days dedicated to filming and then editing definitely helps as well, because I can wake up in the morning and know that that's what I have to be doing for that day. I can kind of gear myself up for it. And it means I can stick to more of a consistent schedule with uploads too. Now, you don't have to use a written planner like this. You can use a digital planner if you feel like that works better for you. For me, I'm a little bit more of a visual person, and as I've said before on this channel, I like to write things down, and I think it helps me to remember a lot better what I'm doing. So this is just the method that I prefer, but there are definitely other methods out there if you prefer those as well. So my second tip is to set time aside, dedicated time aside for content planning. Now, this might be to organize your YouTube videos if you're on YouTube and you're planning content for that. This might be time to organize your reels for the month if you prefer to do that. But just make sure that you have dedicated hours set aside or a dedicated day where you plan out all of the content that you want. And I mean outlining as well. If you're filming videos, I think having an outline is always a good way to go, because you really don't want to be getting to the point where you wake up in the morning and you're wanting to do content creation and you're wanting to get stuck into it, but then you don't know what you're doing and you've got to find ideas on that day. And then by the time you find ideas and then kind of get the outline going, the day's unfortunately over and you've got no time to film or you've got no time to produce the content. So I find that it's better to just have dedicated hours to planning your content for YouTube, what you want to produce. If you're going to set yourself a goal of 10 videos a month or whatever it is, making sure that you've got those outlines ready to go. So when it does come time to start filming, you know exactly what you're doing and you're not having to reach for ideas and really do research and get distracted doing other things in the process. Number 3 is to have an easy workflow. Now, this is something that I can't stress enough. Make things easy for yourself wherever you can, whether it comes to photography, video, editing. Make sure that you've got like a template or a workflow that you use on the regular that you can get so familiar with that it becomes second nature to you. So for example, for filming for YouTube and my instance, I like to have my setup kind of all ready to go with my lights, with my camera setup. I don't tend to change my regular setup with the tripod and everything. I just have it in my room ready to go whenever I'm ready to film. That already sheds time from my day where I would have otherwise been setting up all my lights, setting up my tripod again, my camera settings, everything. It just feels like so much effort sometimes to get started. So I make sure that that is kind of all done. It's all ready to go. For editing, I use things like templates. I use things to make my process a lot quicker, presets for color grading, things like that. Whatever it is in your workflow that can really make it easier for yourself, do this, because it's going to add to your consistency. It's not going to feel as hard of a chore to stay consistent and to keep up with your workload if you're doing these things. Easy is definitely the key word, and make it easier on yourself by doing all of this, even for things like YouTube thumbnails or for templates for Instagram Reels and things like that. Canva is really good for that. I use that all the time, and I think it just makes it so much easier for me than going into Photoshop Photoshop and having to do certain things, and it's just a drag and drop system in Canva, and I definitely prefer it for those little niggly things like thumbnails and that. But that's just one example of how you can really improve your workflow and do things a little bit more easier and quicker for yourself. Number 4 is to utilize planners for social media so you can plan your content ahead of time and upload your content ahead of time. Now, this also goes in with using a monthly content schedule. I think that that's a really helpful thing to do, but having a planning system, whether it be for your Instagram posts or Reels, TikTok, YouTube videos, whatever it is, using an external planner for this can really help. I personally have talked about Planoly before on this channel, and I really do love using Planoly. I've also recently partnered with them this year, which has been so exciting because they're a platform that I've used for many years now to plan all of my Instagram posts. I've started planning my Instagram Reels through there. I can plan my TikToks through there and my Pinterest posts as well if I want to. So it really is a multifaceted platform, and you can really use it for different things. And it's just one platform that I really love using to plan my content. So I definitely recommend, if you're really wanting to find a way to plan out your content better and to visually see it as well in your grid, especially for things like Instagram, this is a really great way to go in having an external planner as well. And my 5th tip is to bulk produce content and also to have dedicated days for filming. I think both of these things really help when producing things like videos for YouTube or for general social media such as Instagram or TikTok. Bulk filming these things are going to make things a lot easier on yourself, especially because it allows you to get ahead of time and to get ahead of posting, and then you can be a lot more consistent. You can stick to a schedule a lot easier because you've got more content to put out there. Instead of just setting up everything to film one YouTube video or to film one Instagram reel, it's going to be so much easier if you bulk film certain things on certain days and have dedicated days to filming where you know you really have to get yourself in the mood to film to and really gear yourself up for it. I think that's really important, especially as creatives. Sometimes our energy is lacking when it comes to doing some creative tasks, and filming can be a draining task. So really having those dedicated days where you're kind of psyching yourself up even before you've started, knowing that you have to do those tasks on that day, can really help. Okay guys, so let me know what you thought of this video down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it and what you do to stay consistent as a freelancer with your content planning or as a digital creator. Give this video a like if you liked it, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I'll be posting a lot more content like this in future. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!